So I want you guys to take a look at, this is a representation of the chart that you created for this particular class through Lucid Chart. You have Dexter here, and then you broke it down into two different categories, one entitled Vigilante, one for Serial Killer. And then you guys went for characteristics of Dexter, research, characteristics of Dexter as a vigilante, research. Then you have serial killer, research, characteristics of him as a serial killer, research, characteristics of him being a serial killer, research, and then you have you pare it down into your global topic sentence. Okay? What I want to show you guys today is how this particular paragraph can, on a graphic organizer, can kind of convert to a nice little paragraph for you. Now, what you guys are going to be doing today is you're going to be picking a side or both. I think, personally, picking a side would be easy for you. But what you want to do is this, is you're going to pick a side, and I want you to determine, now you guys have 3 in each category. I want you to determine maybe what are the top 2 characteristics of him as a vigilante, or the top 2 characteristics that you want to talk about of him being a serial killer. Are you with me? And basically what you're going to do is you're going to convert it. You're going to flip the chart over. So here you have this particular graphic organizer. I kind of put this graphic organizer up here. Looks kind of similar. It's very similar to the graphic organizer you did on the Lucid chart, right? But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be flipping it around. Now look what I do here. Is here we go ahead and this will now turn into your global topic sentence. Okay? Are you with me? Here would be your characteristic of Dexter. That you want to go ahead and you want to signify, whether him being a serial killer or a vigilante, right? And then you're going to explain or elaborate with research. So this is where your research would come in. Research to explain. You're going to be explaining how this is a characteristic of a serial killer. Does this make sense? Using the research from your wall wisher or your wall wisher or your worded out activity. This would be your second. Let me go ahead. Your second characteristic of Dexter. Okay, and again, you explain, research, use your research to explain. Then you conclude, then you have some form of closing sentence right here that basically wraps up with one final thought that you want to leave your audience with, something that really kind of puts everything to a close on your position of who Dexter is, a serial killer or a vigilante. Okay? Care. I think if you choose one side, it'll be a lot more focused. But if you think that you have the ability to write, to kind of think of him as being both, by all means, if you're going to think of him as being both, this would be one characteristic of Dexter being as a serial killer, and then the other one will be of him being a vigilante. Does this make sense? And then you would conclude. So this would be, you see how this is very similar to your graphic organizer? All I did was take your graphic organizer and I flipped it. And that's all I did. And I used it to make a paragraph. So say right now, if I was going to create maybe an outline look at this, I might go ahead and do something like this. Let's see. I'll show you up on the board. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I did record this, and I'll put this like on the web as well, so you can go ahead and watch it. Quick.